All right. You are listening to Turn 1 Catalyst, an Atlas Reactor podcast. This is episode number 2, Open Beta Phase. We are your hosts, Devin Butler, known in game as Kulana.
7502. Do I get to say my number?
You can say your number.
Okay.
Also, Colin, in game Inukshuk 3441. And we got a lot to cover this week. We got 2 patches, 2 live streams, a cinematic, a lot of discussion since our last show. I don't want to waste too much time, so let's jump right into it. But first, we have a special guest this week from Team Love Bites. Say hi, Jay.
Hi.
Hi.
It's
me. All right, so the first thing we do is we do our last week of what I guess for this podcast, it's our last 2 weeks of what we've been doing. So since you're the guest, we'll let you go first.
Okay, cool. So I'm Jay Nite, in game, the number being 0750. Don't be afraid to add me. But yeah, I've been playing on Love Bites for, we just started this season, so I guess 6 weeks, and it's been pretty fun so far. We definitely improved over the weeks, and competitive play in this game is really exciting for me.
How'd you find your team?
Oh yeah. So initially, I actually was talking to King, Pyrojack, and Talonite, 2 of my teammates, when I first started the game, because I was playing solo queue, and I was playing Garrison, and King Pyrojack, who I refer to as Charlie, so I'll just refer to him that way because it's easier. So Charlie, he added me because he liked my Garrison play, and then we started playing after that. I asked them if they wanted to make a team, but they weren't ready at that point. So I started Team Voltaic with Kodo and Hellfire. But once Charlie and Talonite, once they wanted to make a team, I tried out for that, and we kind of got started from there.
You tried out for that?
They held tryouts, so I went through the same process as everyone else. But yeah,
cool.
But yeah, nothing against Team Voltaic. Like, I love those guys, but I asked the Love Bites people first if they wanted to form a team, and I just jumped on as soon as they said they were interested.
It's cool. It's cool. All right, so we got a lot of interview questions for you later, but before we get to that, I'll throw mine in there. School started back up for me, so for the last 2 weeks I've just been doing school. Signed up for hockey again, which is a thing I do every once in a while. I've been playing like almost no Atlas Reactor recently, which is a shame because a lot of really cool stuff has been going on. So yeah, I've just been getting ready for this podcast. It's
a real shame.
It really is. Like
a week without Atlas Reactor.
It's been almost 2 weeks. Yeah. And I just fell in love with Celeste, so it's been a real shame.
You've been taken away from your one true love.
What was my one true love? I don't even remember.
Celeste.
Oh yeah. I thought you meant like I was playing Zuki before Celeste, and I was like, how much do you know about me?
He checked up on us.
Yeah, he's like looking at my profile. Oh, this kid's got more Zuki games than anything else.
You know it. I have access to everyone's profile, even though that's not. Now
that you're a pro player, you know everything.
Exactly, I know.
I believe it.
I mean, the devs are pretty cool. I wouldn't be surprised to hear that they give you guys kind of backdoor access for that stuff.
I don't think other people would appreciate that.
Fair enough. Yeah. Anyway,
what about you, Devin?
Yeah, for me, I've just been playing a little bit. I've been keeping up with the features at least, unlike somebody here, but I've not been doing anything excessively. I was really hyped for the rank weekend that they were talking about, and then they had to pull it at the last minute, and it was real sad.
Did they pull that?
Yeah,
because that's fully in here. Oh, that's lame. Why? Did they say why?
Yeah, they said there was some like last minute bug that they found that they had to kill it.
I wonder why that matters. Like you're just gonna wipe it anyway, are they not?
Well, I mean, if it's an access bug, then.
Oh yeah.
Well, they want to test it without it, being buggy. I think they said it was because the fill option was messing with it, since like it's kind of a character, kind of not a character.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's a big thing that we'll talk about later too. Is the will fill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a really cool feature.
It is, absolutely. So that covers our prep phase. Let's go on to our dash phase. So on September 9th, we'll start with the oldest news. We got a relatively small patch with a bunch of hot fixes, bug fixes, and the respawn update. I've played just enough games to see that like twice. What are your thoughts on that?
Asking who?
You.
Both, either one.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll go ahead. I've played. I really like it so far. I think it's a big improvement over the old one. The old one, I would not even really call it a respawn system. It was more of a roll the dice and see if you can influence the match randomly after you respawn. Especially with like supports and characters like Nyx that have more range than other characters. Usually they would like influence you to start 7 or 8 squares away, but like characters like Gray and Nyx could still like influence the game to turn the respawn. So they had like weird like upsides over other characters with the previous respawn system.
You got any thoughts, Devin?
No, I like that they're putting the hard limit on the 2-turn thing. Like that's the big takeaway for me is that, I'm whoever, but I can't even if I'm right there. There's a little strange when you're like, I've seen games where the person walks into a stealth, like an enemy walks into a stealth square, and you can spawn right on top of them, and that just seems a little wonky to me. Like I get that because you can't see them, that's why you can select that area, but it just feels odd. But I do like it overall.
Well, yeah, and also I would like to note that they did do a recent change, so the portals are now visible even when they're in stealth pads. Before you weren't able to see them.
Yeah, that was a very recent change. I don't think I even put that in here. I was going to bring it up though.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
All I know is I remember a couple games where I was trying to get all the firepowers to 10. I was Nyx and I was just getting kills immediately after spawning. It was pretty ridiculous. So I'm a big fan of this change as well.
Yeah. The name of the game with that Reactor is open information, and the devs have constantly said that they want to add more ways to have open information. So having the spawn points being open information as long as you have the vision area. Also, you can do little nasty things like trapping their spawn location if they spawn too close to a fight, or like spawn in a bad place where you can see them. But that's not really like a bad thing. That's more of something you have to consider.
No, that's a great thing. That never even occurred to me. Yeah.
You got to be aware of where the people are that can trap you. Like, I think that adds another layer to the game, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, because today in the PPL even like there was a Gray that just threw her ult on where Aurora was spawning. It was hilarious.
That's great.
I didn't see that. That is amazing.
So on the note of open information, did you get the bonk system? I don't remember exactly what they called it. Where like if two people try to go to the
clash
same square?
system.
Clash. There you go. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in here as well.
Oh, is that?
I actually just I was going to jump to the next thing on the list is the open beta, so we may as well just go into those the patch notes real quick for that, which is the wheel fill got added as well. This is from the 15th. The advanced pings, have you seen those yet? Those advanced pings, have you used those yet? I know Devin hasn't.
I haven't used them very much. I'm not quite used to them yet. Kind of like whenever a secondary menu pops up, my game tends to lag. So whenever I hold down Alt to see everyone's cooldowns, it kind of lags.
Oh yeah,
and
the advanced too, actually.
Yeah, the advanced ping kind of makes it lag. So hopefully they could optimize that a bit to make me want to use it a bit more. But it's definitely useful. I'm mostly in voice chat, so it's not quite as necessary.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they're still kind of vague, more or less. Like, I think you can ping like for assistance and ping like enemy, but there isn't like kill this person. I don't think. Which I think
one of them is it's just like a generic skull. I think they showed it briefly on
the skull. The skull is enemy. It's just,
okay.
It's very
symbolizes enemy.
Yeah. I know that there's like I'm gonna follow this guy. Enemy, and that's all I knew. Just those two, and then it's a menu with 4. So
yeah. There's like assist and I think run away, but like there's no like target this person, which I think would be useful.
Which is what
they're kind of vague to like be able to tell Like, you could say assist or enemy to mean target this person. Or it could just be like, oh, this guy's an ult, so be careful. I feel like more specific pings with like better meanings would be better.
And that's probably on the horizon. I would imagine. This is just the surface of it.
Yeah.
So then right next on the patch notes after that is the clash system.
One other thing that they added with that is that you can now ping when it's not actually like the decision phase. And that's I feel like that's a huge deal, especially for pub games.
I didn't realize that was ever a problem. I've every time I've ever tried to ping, I've always been able to.
You weren't able to ping outside decision phase before.
Yeah.
Today I learned a useless fact.
Yeah, like I would almost try to like ping. It's like, oh, right here, and they're like, where? I'm like, oh yeah, let me just wait for decision phase.
Yeah. And again, I feel like that's...
Okay, so... You feel like that's what?
That was just a feature that was only really relevant to, like, communication. Very rarely did you actually need to ping if you were just playing pub games, so...
Oh man, I pinged all the time in pub games.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, you've played with me, you know. I occasionally get ragey and then spam this one square.
There's a guy here, people.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's never happened.
Okay. Anyway.
So anyway, the next thing was the clash system. And like, again, I haven't played enough to see it. I think in the one game, the one thing that I learned firsthand was if you move to the spot and somebody else moves through it, the guy who moves to the spot gets it. That's the only thing I learned from the clash system. Have you seen it at all? Has it screwed you at all?
I've seen a few also kind of weird instances of it where, say, two people are kind of running next to each other and they're like a square apart. Then they try to like merge in the middle and like go up one more square. Then they'll kind of like bounce off and just like walk parallel to each other. It has some weird applications. But yeah, the main thing is if two people are same distance going for a power up, then you can stop on the power up to try and clash them. Or if they try to get greedy and just move through it, then they, stuff like that. Again, more on the open information topic.
Or you can just play Celeste.
Or you can just play Celeste.
And get it all the time.
Or you can dash through it and say
fuck it. I noticed, or I heard from Pepper Titan that it, I don't know if they fixed it yet, but it was like you could see a stealth pup or a stealth Nyx if you like clashed with them. Have you seen any of that interaction at all, or?
I know that, well, typically, if you stop in a square where an invis character is, you just stop. I haven't really seen any interactions with the clash system and stealth characters. That seems like it comes off very infrequently. I would have to do some testing to like see how that works, but I guess it would make sense for them to get revealed because it wouldn't be super clear where they got clashed to.
Yeah. Or even what exactly happened. Like if you run into a square and you bounce off, you're gonna be like, that's a little odd. So.
Yeah.
The reveal might.
Because there's like around 3 squares they could be in if you bounce off of them. Again, that might be intentional. I don't know if that's a bug for sure.
I'm sure the labs will comment on it here pretty soon because that's just how they are.
Well, in the live stream, that's where I saw was Pepper brought it up in the live stream. They're like, oh yeah, that's a thing we'll fix, but I don't know if they've done it yet. Is what I was saying. Yeah. So along with these patch notes, they made progression a lot easier. They were saying they reset all the devs to 0 on their freelancers, and they were having no problem getting them back up without GG boosts to like level 18 and 20 relatively quickly. They were also talking about changes to the mission rewards. They were also saying, and I don't know what the deal is, maybe you guys do. They were saying before launch, you're going to want to hit or finish chapter 5 for some reason. He says, like, he won't tell you why, but he says you're going to want to finish it.
Oh, yeah. Somebody finished chapter 5 and you get a special title. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the title is, but I think you keep that title.
BAMF. It's probably just BAMF.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, apparently season 5 is pretty easy. Season 4 requires GG boosts, and everyone knows you can't get those. It's just impossible.
They're pretty impossible. I didn't know that there was like going to be carryover though. I was actually completely ignoring the season, so good to know.
Yeah, there's actually a list if you go to the live stream, Muzzy has a list in it where it's on YouTube. You can't find it on Twitch. He's got it posted to YouTube though. Their power supply unit blew up, so they had to work around that. But anyway, he's got a list of like what you keep and what you lose when they wipe.
So Raykazer in chat just said that the title is beta maxed if you cap out your chapters.
Oh, that's where Betamax is. Betamax is like the best title.
Yeah, it's pretty beast.
I saw it and I was like, how do I get Betamax? It's probably something that's really rare and I can't get anymore, but I can get it. Perfect.
Yeah, no joke. I'm gonna have to rush to that now. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be RNG if I can get enough GG boost, or I just have to wait 5 days and do the dailies. But I don't want to wait that long.
Fair enough.
So did you guys watch the not this most recent one, but the one before it, the September 9th live stream?
The one where they talked about the respawn changes, or?
Yeah, that one. They like for a couple in a row they kept previewing the new Halloween Cork skin, and Muzzy did like half the live stream with the Cork mask on.
He's a big fan. Yeah, I saw that.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that series. It looks like, I've said it before, but it looks like Duskull the Pokemon. I'm so excited for Halloween skins.
I'm a Necro-Osana and Necro-Titus. Awesome.
Oh yeah, I saw those too.
Yes, Pepper Titan has Necrotitis, and his voice is so awesome. It's just like really deep in. He's like, "Don't take the fight to you."
That's awesome. I want to see him. What's the taunt where he like yells and looks in the sky with fiery eyes? I want to see that one.
First me, coward.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
gonna look sweet.
I love it.
So they didn't really talk much about anything really, except for the respawn on the 9th. But on the 16th, they talked about the advanced pings, the clash mechanics, which we've already talked about. It's in open beta. They talked about the will fill. They did say that there's going to be a wipe prior to the head start, which I think starts on the 30th, they said, and then the actual launch is on the October 4th. And
my hope for that is I hope they surprise us and give us a new character.
They're going to give us a new freelancer and a new map, actually.
Oh, with the head start?
That's what he said. Starting in the head start, we got a new map, new freelancer. He won't say what the freelancer is, though.
Frontliner, please.
Firepower. I need another thing to send.
Yeah, we have what, 15 firepowers, 10 firepowers? How many are there?
Yo.
10.
What are numbers?
10-5-5 is the split right now.
Yeah, so obviously we need more.
We need more supports, definitely.
No. They also said, one of the devs also said that about 50% of the VO they've recorded for every freelancer is actually in use. So, yeah.
So that release more over time.
Well, like, I think it's Oz has a disproportionate number of taunts to everybody else. And they're saying that everybody else will eventually get more taunts, and there's going to be more game modes where all those voiceovers are used. So I'm really excited about that.
Ooh, yes.
They have big plans.
Game mode.
Yeah, they do. They really do. They said they wanted to put out 2 maps, 2 freelancers, but one map and one freelancer aren't quite ready yet, I think is what they were saying in the live stream.
Well, don't rush it,
Yeah, exactly. We also got some info on mod tokens. I think we talked about that last week. We're going to talk about it a little bit later this week too. But they also think mod tokens are weird, and they don't want to erase them now because you can they're currently part of the paid packages.
Yeah.
So they don't want you to feel like you're spending all this money on nothing, right?
Yeah. Well, just give me all the just make golden age styles for all the skins, and I'll be happy if you take away my mod tokens.
Yeah, I really don't think, like, I understand where they're coming from, but I really don't think anybody will be.
Yeah, I really don't
too
care.
heartbroken.
I bought the Trust Edition. I don't care. Take them out, please.
Yeah, that's my stance on. My stance on them actually is either make them a non-issue by giving you too many tokens, which effectively removes them, or just remove them. Yeah. That's what I've always thought.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of understand the whole gating system. Like, I get why they want to do that. They want to limit complexity for new players, but I'm not a new player, so I don't want that.
Well, he said, I can't remember which one of them, but one of the devs was basically, he didn't say like HOTS, but he basically said like HOTS, where you slowly ease into the characters and how they play and what their abilities do.
Yeah.
And
we
then
all,
they open up
we all know
options.
that hops removed that.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe not the best example to be pointing to.
Well, I mean, he didn't explicitly say that, but that's exactly the HOTS was the same idea.
Mm-hmm.
You start with this set until you learn your abilities, but we're not idiots. We can read and we understand. My very first game ever I played, all of my abilities were modded. Like I don't need. Maybe that was actually probably a mistake.
You are not the standard player. You've played MOBAs for how long? Like
2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's my point. Players that aren't comfortable with the mod system aren't gonna touch the mod system. Like I've watched people, they start the game and they don't mod stuff until like they're good with the character, which is just like how you should do it. You play a character for a bit, you know what you want on the character, then you mod the character based off what you liked about the character. People just do that by themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, and then the next thing that they talked about was the rank queues, but that's not a thing. They said freelancer
weekend.
levels are much easier. Oh, is it next week?
Yeah, they just pushed it back a week. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the wipe will be right after that, the rank test.
So the 24th, 25th will be rank weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the 26th
they
is
also,
the wipe, according to Ray Keyser. So.
Oh, really? I thought the wipe was going to be on the 30th. I thought that's what they said.
No, it's within a period of days. 26th to 29th sounds right.
Oh, servers are down. That's right. There's also going to be, and I didn't get the dates on them, but they also want us to participate in a server slam, and everybody who does participate in that server slam gets a title.
Stressed out.
Is that what that was? I'm pretty sure that's what that was.
That's what it was implied to be.
Stress test. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the best title. I would always use stressed out.
I think Ray Kaiser was actually trying to tell us that.
No, I commented on it. I acknowledged him.
I don't know.
Actually, I would switch to stressed out if I felt stressed out.
I would just keep it on permanently. I think my current one is I don't even know, catalyzer. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's catalyzer there.
Man,
I don't have any good ones.
I'm using one man army right now.
I saw that. I was actually gonna make. I was gonna shit on you in the chat. No, let him focus.
I don't look at the chat till it's over, so you could say whatever you want.
I think the only thing I didn't say too much, but I was just like, "Wow, you died, GG."
That's a good point. I mean, like I shouldn't have died that turn. I should have died on the next turn.
The worst part is, like, I tuned in the turn after you died, so I didn't even get to see it. But I heard that they were like, "Wow, he took a wild guess and it happened to be right." It's like, oh dang, okay.
It should have been like, "Wow, Jay chose a really shitty spot."
Wow, Jay didn't actually move that turn. What happened there?
Wow, Jay was not smart, man.
Why is he on this team? Oh, real quick. So you have you can only bring 4, obviously, but there's like 5 or 6 people on your roster. How do you work that out?
Oh yeah, so we have designated subs in the main team. Main team is me, King Powerjack, Talonite, and Dogel, and our subs are Ico and Average Spaceman, who I have to say this is the best username ever. Average Spaceman.
I recognize that from that game, yeah.
But Average Spaceman is a great guy. Ico's pretty cool. She was at PAX helping out the newbies with the demo at PAX, like every day. So that was really nice of her. But we have been trying to get our subs in, especially when we do scrims, to get them some practice. We've had Average Spaceman in a few times when Talonite wanted to swap out and not play for a few matches, and he did great. So I'm proud of him for those. But yeah, we just we play with the main team mostly, but whenever somebody isn't on, we play with the subs whenever we can.
Is there like a format that you have to follow? Do they say that you have to have 5 or 6 people on your roster, or can you have?
So six people is the maximum, and you can have anywhere from 4 to 6. And you don't have to designate them as subs. You can do as much swapping as you want, even between games in a match. But yeah, it's just for team structure wise, having a main and sub team is useful.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a pretty smooth transition into the actual interview questions. That was a bonus extra one that we didn't have on there for you.
That's good.
So the first one, and this is mostly for myself because Devin and I go back and forth on this a lot. Should Atlas Reactor add more time to the decision phase?
Okay, that means we're in the blast phase now, right?
Yeah.
Of the podcast.
We're just gonna smooth right through that.
Man, smooth through the cheesy name. Anyways, yeah. Let's see.
Do you think that would mess up the flow too much?
Atlas Reactor adding more decision time. Let me just subtly flip these pages to get to the point where I wrote stuff about that. Subtly, just not obviously at all.
I can't hear paper at all. You're good. You're good.
There we go. There we go.
This is a good tie into you having too much decision time track today.
Yes. But yeah, the thing about the timer and Atlas Reactor is right now it's at the point where it can appeal to people that like to take longer to think about stuff and people that like the action to keep coming. I feel like if you added any more time than what we currently have, which is 20 seconds, you would pander more towards an audience that you kind of already have, the audience that can think a little longer, that likes to think a little longer. It would pander a bit more towards them, but I feel like 20 seconds kind of already helps them out in that aspect already. But you would lose a lot of interest of the players that prefer the action to go a little quicker. Especially like me, I do like to have more time to think, and it would be useful. But I understand that, and it does make it more interesting for me that the game is quicker. So more so rather than them adding more decision time, I feel like it takes a while. There's a good bit of adjustment period, but I don't think it's a bad adjustment period for people to have to get used to the 20 seconds. I think it's good for the game health and better for spectators and streamers and everything like that.
So if you had to change it, would you reduce it? Would you leave it the same? Would you add time banks? Would you remove time banks?
If I might add a third time bank. That any more than a third time bank I think would be too much, but again, I feel like it's more of a adjustment thing rather than an like actual issue. Adjustment. Yeah, personal adjustment.
You know right now that I would mic drop if I were holding my mic. You know that, Colin, right?
Yeah, he did say third time bank, so give me some credit. That was my thing. My thing is the time bank for sure. But my problem with time banks is I forgot to hit space. I just burned through 3 of them.
Yeah, okay. I feel like time banks are kind of like not a very good mechanic because they encourage you to lock in, and then it makes it so if you wanted to actually change something within the time you still had in your turn, but everyone already finished, then you're like, well, crap.
Yeah. Fine, whatever.
Reikizer in chat just suggested removing the lock-in altogether. I'm not sure what that would do to time banks, but I do like that idea conceptually.
If you remove the way I would do it, if you were going to remove the lock-in, is if you aren't currently aiming an ability or like something like that, then at 20 seconds you're done. But if you're currently aiming an ability and you get to 20 seconds, then it uses the time bank.
Yeah, like if you're still maneuvering it, because some of them are kind of hard.
Yeah, if you're still working on a current action, then use a time bank. Otherwise, it doesn't. Or if you haven't put in a move yet.
I was thinking move, but sometimes you don't want to move. So how would you do that? Just shift right click where you're standing, or?
Yeah.
Make it a conscious decision regardless. Yeah, no, I like that a lot. That's great.
Ray Kaiser agrees with you for what that's worth.
So he says that this was this way before. When did they change it, and do we know anything about that? Were you playing at that point, Jay?
No, I started like 2 months ago.
Okay. I'm curious about that now. I'll have to look that up.
You'll have to look that up. So anyway, moving right along, how would you say PPL differs from solo queue? And I don't mean like in terms of communication. Is like the raw skill from PPL a lot better than the raw skill in solo queue, or?
Yeah. The thing about PPL and solo queue is, besides like the obvious like communication, I feel like people in solo queue, it tends to be a lot more aggressive than in competitive, because, well, you can't really make like a coordinated retreat maneuver. Usually in PPL, people will focus on getting some kills, but then they'll shift back to focus on their defense and prevent the enemy from getting any more kills so they can win that way. And solo queue, people will keep going and keep going and keep trying to get that 5th kill to just win through that rather than win through the time limit. So I feel like that's a big difference in the play styles. And as for skill, I feel like a lot of... I don't feel like there's a big innate skill difference between playing PPL and solo queue. It's more of how well you can actually apply certain tactics. Like, I can play solo queue all I want, and if I'm playing like support, like, it's all up to the rest of my team to determine whether we win or not. Like, it doesn't freaking matter. Or like, even if I'm playing like firepower, I can do as well, not dying as possible, but it really depends on if my team decides to retreat after we have an advantage or not. It's really like kind of thing.
I do notice that all the PPL games I watched, I think only one of them ended at 5, and it ended at 5 on turn 20 anyway.
Yeah, PPL games last longer because people in PPL, they work on both aspects of the game, dying and not dying. They're both ways to win.
I work on just dying. That's my favorite part.
If you like losing, then you're pretty... As long as you do that, there's no way you can lose.
Well, you've seen the Talkers stand up. We group together, and then a Nyx alt assault, and then we get quad killed.
Right, yeah. I remember that.
That's actually happened, I think.
You remember? Oh, yeah, that's my meme. Remember the time that Talk crew all died in one turn from a Nyx ult?
That never happened.
So good.
So anyway, now we've had a Ryan for a while now, and the initial reaction was very mixed when he came out. We had Trash saying that he was the best thing on the planet, and we had some other people saying maybe not. What's your opinion? What's J Nite and Lovebite's opinion of Orion?
Well, I would also say about that, I'm pretty certain that... I don't know if I heard that from Trash initially, but I'm pretty sure they did a 180 on that, because Safiel told me that the solo queue is the only time he's ever going to be able to play Orion, so I'm assuming Trash doesn't like him anymore. But
really?
Yeah.
Weren't they like super on about him in decision phase? Was that where we heard that?
Know.
Colin?
That's where I heard it. Yeah.
I didn't watch that one, but apparently they changed their mind on that, and they really don't like him.
But anyway, forget Trash. They're not here.
Yeah, they're trash.
Hey.
Yeah, but my opinion about Orion, or Orion, I guess is the correct way to say it, is he has this dynamic where he is the best character, I'm not going to say best character. He is a pretty good support, pretty competitive with the other supports at full energy, and he's the worst character in the game when he has no energy. He shifts between those two states whenever he ults or whenever he dies. And the point is, he basically doesn't have an ultimate compared to the other supports because, well, first of all, it isn't a support ultimate. He only heals himself, and it just does damage. And it's in an AoE, so you have to be out of position for it to like work. And also, using his ultimate puts him down to 0 energy, which means he becomes way, way worse at supporting his team after he uses his ultimate. Like, after he uses his ultimate, there's like 2 to 3 turns where he's complete crap at doing anything, except for when he uses Fate Transfer.
So why wouldn't you just sit on his ult until, like, because his ult heals him a decent amount, so why not just run around at 5 shards until suddenly you need to use it or you'll die?
That's the point. Like, you have to play Orion as if he doesn't have an ultimate. You just have to play him holding 100 energy, and that's my big issue with him. Like, all his abilities kind of do well when compared to other supports, but then you get to the ultimate part. How do you compare a character that has comparable abilities and no ultimate to a character that has comparable abilities and an ultimate that's really good?
So maybe if like his shards did more to his regular abilities, him having kind of not really an ultimate would make up for that, you figure? Is that like, what would you change about him?
I feel like if his ultimate worked more on the support aspect, where you would actually want to intentionally use it to support your teammates with a big burst of support. That's like, if you could, my idea would be able to center your ultimate on an ally, giving them the heal and any of the mod bonuses from your ultimate. So like giving them the additional health, or giving them 20 energy with the ult, or even reducing all their cooldowns by 1 with the ultimate, going along with his ultimate mods. And that would make it so he would actually have an ultimate that he could use on his teammates, rather than being like, being an oh shit button and then having to build up to being a decent character again.
Yeah, and wasting all that time. Yeah, and like, none of his abilities innately give energy, so you have to mod some stuff to get energy that way. So,
or be a tank.
It feels to me, personally, knowing nothing, being nothing, that you don't really have a decision when it comes to his abilities. Well, you have limited decisions because something has to give you energy. So something somewhere has to give you the energy mod. You have to take that somewhere. Yeah. And then it just feels...
The way I play him is I don't take any energy mods. I just get the full energy using Fate Transfer, and I just sit there. Like, the energy mods, the point is, when you get to full energy mods don't do anything, and you want to be at full energy. Yeah. So basically, you're using, I don't know, like 2 to 3 to even 5 mod points, just energy gain, and that don't do anything for you when you're at the point where you actually want to be.
When you're full 80 carry mode, yeah. Or full support mode. Everything's 80 carry for me because I play fire powers.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the big issue with him. Like, he has 2 polarizing phases. He doesn't get rewarded enough for choosing to swap between them. And he doesn't even do more than other characters when he's at full power. Like, you might also note he's just a numbers character where he has healing and shields and damage. He does not have any effects besides that. He has no knockbacks, slows, hastes, mites, weakens. He has none of them.
I think the dev team was saying that they're trying to like wean some of the weakens out because there are too many at the moment. It's kind of like early league. Everybody in league did 4-second CC in like early stages of the game.
Yeah. There's a lot of weaken, but the point is he's just a numbers character, and if his numbers only kind of match up to other characters, and then he doesn't have anything to back that up,
an additional utility, then yeah, he's basically
like his numbers go up with shards, but he has nothing that's like a good baseline for his abilities when he's at low energy.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of a big issue with him. Like, Fate Transfer is the only ability that's like pretty good at no energy. Well, and it's free action.
But this free action doesn't really help that much. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
It's pretty decent for a free action. It's just kind of like a whatever. Like 15 damage is fine.
I feel like that's his only really, really good ability.
I feel like that's
I don't
a problem.
play sports that much.
He's a support where his only good ability is a damage ability. Like,
I wouldn't say that. Transfer is definitely his best ability,
really
but the thing I like about the free action is you can mod it to give shields and then fate transfer them, and that gives them like an effective 40 health.
Which is crazy.
Off of the free action.
Yeah, that 5 life gray just took everybody's attack and is still walking away. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, like you put them up 10 shields and then you're like, well, actually that's 40 health technically because I take 75% of that damage.
That's my, like, the only reason I think he might be good is because, like, you don't want to overcommit to a 5 health gray. So maybe 2 people will shoot at him, maybe 1 person will shoot at him. But if he gets touched at all by an Orion, you need the whole team.
He has value. It's just he's good at saving people, but if all he does is save people and doesn't really contribute anything else, and also kind of is really inconsistent about it, it
sounds very weird. Solo queue. That doesn't sound PPL at all. Yeah,
it's a weird guy.
Yeah, that's saving somebody who goes out of position. That's not saving. Yeah. All right, so that's Orion or Oreo or whatever you call him. Let's Oreo. Run along to. Oh, I love Oreo too.
Oreo the Imperio.
Ship it. That's their next one. They should make an Oreo skin where the shards are just Oreos. Have you seen the new Orion skin? They're circles. They could totally make those Oreos.
They could have made those Oreos. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
It's a big missed opportunity.
Totally, absolutely. So anyway. What is Atlas Reactor missing right now? Do you think they need more maps? Do you think they need more freelancers? More both? More anything else?
Okay.
Modes?
More frontliners?
Frontliners. You played great today. Why do you want frontliners?
Because okay, my thing is all the supports, including Orion, they all have different designs. They all do different things, which is great. All the frontliners, like,
feel very samey.
Asana, Rask, they're good because they're very similar to each other. Like, they are good frontliners, and they are very similar to each other. Rampart, Garrison, they're very different. They're not quite as favored because they don't do the job that... Well, I should also include Titus with Rask, Asana. Yeah,
like I was gonna say, Titus...
Raskasana, Titus, they do pretty similar stuff, and they're pretty good for it. Garrison and Rampart, kind of like the unusual-ish ones. Garrison being kind of less so, but he is kind of like in between a ranged character and a melee character, which is something I like about him. It's the reason why I have the one-man army title, because I actually like playing him. But I feel like a big part of why we want a new frontliner is because we want the diversity in frontliners. Like Rampart and the other 4, or Rampart, Garrison, and then the other 3. That's like the 3 types of frontliners we have. And we need more varying designs to
so how would you
make
do that?
It so.
How would you make a frontliner right now that isn't Rampart, but also isn't Raskasana, Titus, or Garrison?
I would say that a Rampart's kind of a semi-support, but I would say maybe a semi-support frontliner that works off of AoEs, kind of like AoE buffs. Maybe something like that. It would encourage his teammates to be pretty close to him rather than him getting all the vision, being next to a bunch of people and his teammates being really far away. It would maybe encourage characters like Pup to be played along with him, or L. That'd be interesting to me.
I will agree that all the supports feel very different from each other.
Yeah. Among firepowers, they did a pretty good job. Firepowers feel all pretty different, and their design is all pretty different, which is the main thing. As long as you have a good design for a character, like Orion, he's a pretty good design for a character. All you need to do is just change a few abilities and they'll be fine. But if you have like a bad design, and then you're like, well, now we got to like completely change what this character is about because it's just bad innately. But like they've done a good job making good designs for characters. I have confidence that in the future, with enough changes, all the characters that we currently have can see good play and all be good characters.
I noticed I was watching Trash's thing. They said that the Garrison tweaks weren't enough. Why is Garrison not really, why is he in the Rask tier, not in the other tiers? What's wrong?
Well, I wouldn't say, if we're talking about tiers, I was like,
well, they were just saying, like, if you have to pick, you're going to pick Rask or Asana, even after the Rask nerfs. Why is Garrison not in there?
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Why isn't he? Right.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with Garrison is, and I actually have a video coming out that talks about changes that I want to happen to certain freelancers. So like I wrote down the exact same kind of sentiment. The point is, like, you can give Garrison energy, but what does a character do with the energy? They do their ultimate. What's Garrison's ultimate? It's crap. It's
it's amazing. What are you talking about?
The point is
nuke.
Yeah,
it's 32, and if you can mod it to be 37. The hitbox is super awkward, and it heals for like 4D max. Well, I mean, it doesn't do nothing, but if you compare it to like stuff like Asana's ultimate, shields her teammates for 25 and does 35 damage, and you dash like super far away. Or like Rask's ultimate resets all of his cooldowns, creates like a big AoE that does 20 damage for 2 turns. Titus's ult, super big ground slam that has CC, does more damage, all that stuff. Rampart's ult, 35 damage, you dash and protect people. Like, compared to all the other frontliners, Garrison's ultimate does like nothing in comparison. It's good at finishing off people that are like far away but you still have vision of. But I feel like one thing that I really wish they would do with it is, because I have a feeling like a lot of the reason why it's not super impactful compared to the other ones is because they wanted it to have a global range. Because once some ability has a global range, it can't really be as strong as you would make a ability with a limited range. So I feel like they could make Garrison's ability limited range, just kind of like buff it innately, make the global range a mod, and just like have it being in a better place by doing that.
Do you think he would, if they when he drops it, he drops minor buffs. If he dropped major buffs, do you think that would be enough?
I think major buffs would be too much.
You think so? Yeah. So
because
what if
you pick them all up, you'd be gaining 120 health.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I don't see anything wrong.
That's a full heal on an ultimate for anybody. As long as they survive that turn, they're like, okay, now I just can't be killed. Well, okay.
Yeah.
But even with the ult, even if they made the ult better, the thing the Garrison does between the turns is like, he does a bunch of mediocre stuff between using a mediocre ult. Like, he just does mediocre. He's just a mediocre character. Like, he does mediocre stuff consistently. Like, that's pretty good. But, like, you can always pretty much hit somebody. But his damage numbers aren't quite there to make people want to use him, because he's more of like a damage-focused character, I suppose. I'd say the only ability that like is a nice standout ability is his jump, because it can't get trapped and it does like a good AoE kind of effect. But the numbers are really weird. Like, the jump does 20 damage, the shot does 20 damage. Like, those are very low for a character that's supposed to be like aggressive, because at that point he doesn't threaten enough with his presence to like be as effective as you want him to be.
Yeah, I always feel like I can just walk around one and totally ignore it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Garrison for now.
All right. So the thing that you do the most on your YouTube channel is helping out newbies. So, and you were saying you have a new video coming out. I was going to ask you about that. So your new video is it's not Garrison specific, or it is Garrison specific?
My new video is 5 characters that need changes.
Oh, okay.
5 freelancers that need changes, and that would be, I think what I've decided is Garrison, L, Oz, Lockwood, and what's the last one? Orion. Yeah.
So a real quick aside, you saw that they added you're allowed to move after Oz's dash. Does that change anything for you?
I love it. It's great. It's fantastic. Oz's dash still has the problems that it has before, that you can easily trap it and just cover both. But at least you won't be stuck in a shitty spot after you dash anymore, which is great. It also makes haste even better on him, because you can just... I've had instances where I just like move down the line by dodging, and then I just move even farther away, and I'm just like, I'm so safe right now. It's ridiculous. Like, it really helps Oz's playstyle, and I think it's a great change.
Cool. We'll talk more. That's actually, I've got a bit on that a little bit later.
I have a question for you, Jay. Do you actually have a release date on that? Is that something that we can tease for you?
Yeah. I meant to release it yesterday, but I couldn't get all the work done on it because I wanted to add some finishing touches. Probably tomorrow.
So there you go. Watchers, look for that tomorrow. We'll have a link to his YouTube in the show notes at the end.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so going right along, do you have any advice for anybody that's trying to join a team or wanting to start a team?
I would say if you want to start a team, join the Reactor Discord and the Prep Phase League Discord. They're both really good resources to let you know what's going on in the community. And also, they have chats that are explicitly looking for a competitive team. That's where I initially posted and got together with Kodo and Hellfire to make Voltaic initially. So, like, you can make really good teams with that. But you can even just hold tryouts if you want to be more specific with it. So that's great. Other than that, I would say play with people that you feel can improve themselves, are willing to listen to feedback. Because you can have somebody who's like good initially, but if they aren't able to adapt, say you like play and you don't do so well, as long as you want people that are going to have good attitudes to be able to learn from losing rather than getting upset, getting stuck in the same place and not improving. Like us on Love Bites, we've gotten stomped by a few different teams, and we just learned to look at the games and be like, okay, this is what we need to improve on. And every week we decide something we need to improve on. And I feel like it's been working out for us.
So continue that a bit. What's team life like? Do you have like mod review time, scrim time? Do you have like a schedule that you have to stick to every week? Is everybody pretty cool about that? Have you had any issues with people being not able to take criticism as well?
I feel like we have a great group of players. I love everybody on my team. but sorry, I didn't mean but in that way.
Okay. I was like, shit on somebody. Let's
go.
But average spaceman.
Average spaceman. That guy. He's so average. But on Thursdays and Saturdays are when everybody's available usually. But usually throughout the week we'll play with each other. There'll be times when we're all on just out of the blue and we'll play some games. We try to, whenever a new patch comes out that have... Sorry, I hit my mic. Whenever a new patch comes out, we try to get together, at least talk about it, play a good amount of games with it. And we have done some scrims. We usually end up doing about a scrim a week. That's probably just because Pinta keeps asking us to scrim with him every week. But yeah, that's about how the status is right now. I haven't had any trouble with anybody, thankfully, and we've all been working, and I'm glad at where we are right now.
So as an aside on
So
that
you
note,
always
do you find issues like getting the competitive scene going, like with the scrims and whatnot?
No, not at all. We just we send it out our team captains like, go fetch us a scrim from the well, and then they raise up the bucket and they're like, oh yeah, we caught a few, and then we're like, you want a scrim? And then we just set up a time and play with them.
Nice.
It's pretty easy. You just ask people.
Yeah, and the scene
Just
seems
like
to be
with
growing.
anything. Yeah, I'm really excited to see. I think there's like 2 times the amount of teams from last season. There's like so many now, and especially since the big marketing push, there's gonna be even more teams for season 3. It's gonna be crazy. I'm so excited for the Atlas Reactor competitive scene to take off that I feel like making like something random, like a rap video, to go along with it. I don't know.
This is part of the
there is
marketing.
a rap video.
Yeah. I'm gonna give Navron a run for his money. I'm gonna make some PPL rap. There we go.
Get restarted on or something.
Man, restart. If you wanna collab on my rap album, my Atlas Reactor Prep Phase League rap album, we can do it.
I want to see that.
Yeah,
I want Pepper. I want Pepper in the background just bouncing up and down.
Oh yeah, we get Pepper tightening on it.
He won't actually.
Well, I can write a voice for all the casters. That'd be great.
Nice.
Restart says he's got mad flows in chat, so there you go. You guys should hook up.
Yeah.
What was Hobson's what was his thing called that they just dissolved?
Funk Volume?
Yeah, we can just name our company Funk Volume. It's already a known name. Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess the last thing in the blast phase, since we have you on, and we kind of want to, because we're both noobs, I kind of want to get your take on specifically what each role does. Like, what as a firepower, what are you trying to do? Just do damage? Obviously not just do damage. What about a frontliner? What about support?
Like big picture ideas?
Yeah, like the big picture, like the overarching. What should you be trying to do? In solo queue specifically.
The thing, okay, solo queue. All right, had to change my answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, don't worry. A lot of it translates over. The thing about, okay, I'll start with firepower. The thing about firepower, which is my main role that I understand the most, is you have to. Vision is key. If you don't have a good frontliner to give you vision, then your job is a lot harder. As long as you have the vision, you can kind of predict based off what pressure your team is putting on the enemy, where the general enemy team is going to move. So all you got to do,
just kill them all.
Just kill them all. But what you got to do is kind of predict generally where the flow of their team is going to go. Get into a certain range of that where you can hit them and not be in too much trouble, not be in so many people's range when you are able to attack them. Basically, you want to skirt around the edges of where you think they're going to move and take pot shots at them is the general idea. You have dashes as a frontliner, but an optimally played game as a firepower is you don't use a dash. Like if you use a dash, then usually something with your positioning went wrong. You do have some leniency because that's just the way the characters work. But if I use a dash, I'm like, oh, well, I made a mistake. I need to learn from it. Rather than being like, oh, I'm going to use dashes.
Rather than rely on them, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to rely on your dashes. You don't want to take them for granted. You want to be like, this is my dash. So everyone has their dash, but this one is mine.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So never dash for damage then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not optimal as a firepower usually. Especially Blackburn. I've seen a lot of Blackburns like dash like close to the enemy, put themselves in a really bad spot to do damage, and they're like, "Oh, this is a 5-turn cooldown dash. I'm just dead."
So running on Blackburn, what about L? L's got like 2 or 3 where she goes 1 square. Are those ones okay? Are those an exception or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of how many charges you have on L, you can definitely use those aggressively. L's definitely an exception because she's kind of like somewhere in between a firepower and a frontliner, which makes her role in a team a little different. What L wants to do is you want to be like right next to like a cover spot where you can flip on both sides of the cover. So you're like, oh, people are going to shoot me from the other side of the cover. I need to flip onto the side of the cover that's going to help me out. So you can move in a way where you're right next to cover to be able to react to your opponent's positioning. Rather than trying to just outright avoid attacks, you can like take cover to try and mitigate damage with El's rolls.
She's got a mod that puts it on a cooldown but gives her, I think it's 2 squares. Does anybody ever take that? Is that a good option? Or do you want to be able to run around a bunch?
Okay, that mod's 3 mod points.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Which sucks. Yeah. Dance of Death, which 2 mod points gives you an additional charge on your roll.
That's the one I use.
Yeah, which is pretty much just the best one. Yeah, of course. The only time I would consider using the 2-point or the 2 square dash is, say, you're going against like Zuki, Aurora, Remo, like 2 of those characters maybe, especially going against Zuki. Any character that can like hit you with a 3x3 square attack, like Zuki's ult, you can't roll out of it with the normal dash, but with the 2 square dash you can. So against those characters, I can definitely see you taking it, but for general use, the additional charge is a lot better, because if you are putting your dash on a 4-turn cooldown and it's only a 2 square dash, then you basically are just being like, I dash, and probably still get hit by a good amount of stuff.
Yeah, you're not getting out of anything.
Now I don't have a dash.
Yeah.
And in a crappy position because I didn't build distance, and I'm dead. Yeah,
all right, so
it's kind of like that kind of situation.
Let's move on to the frontliners. You just want to be getting vision?
Yeah, vision is the main role of the frontliner. You want to be next to the enemy team. You want to find out where the enemies are to be able to let your firepowers and supports stay safe and be effective. Frontliners usually kind of take the CC route because, well, that's just kind of how a lot of the characters are designed. Brask and Asana can keep people in place, which is another reason why they're used over some of the others. Like Titus and Garrison have slows, but they don't really have any like stay here, set up for a combo kind of things. But that's generally it. You just want to be in people's faces. Following people is a great way to do it, but make sure not to follow people when you're next to a bunch of traps. I feel like in that situation, you want to path it yourself. Like, you go against the Helio and like a walk with. If the Helio wall is already up, don't auto follow somebody.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Okay, and so the third one is probably the least. I'd say it's the least set in stone because they're all so different. But what's the general idea for the support?
Support's hardest to play for sure, in my opinion. Support has the weird kind of positioning problem where they have to be in the middle of their team sometimes, and sometimes they got to be way back in their team sometimes, because when you want to heal the frontliner, you got to make sure you're close enough to the frontliner to help them, but far away enough from the frontliners' chaos to make sure you don't get swept up in it, because you only have a catadash, and if you get swept up in like a root or a pool from Rampart, or you just get stuck in a position where you really don't want to be, then you're like, crap, I'm just a sitting duck right now, and I'm going to take a bunch of damage.
Yo, you listening,
I
Devin?
only play supports with dashes, thank you.
Which one is that? That's just Cork and...
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's just
okay,
Cork.
okay. Just the one.
I only play Cork. But yeah, and of course, going to the back when your frontliner doesn't really need help, and just to heal your firepowers, that's a bit more of a safe position. But knowing when to swap between the two kind of general zones, and also cooldown management, you can also waste support abilities, which is kind of like an unfortunate thing. You can be Aurora, throw a 40 heal on someone that's low, and then have them die anyways, and you're like, well, I should have just healed somebody else, kind of situation. You gotta really predict when your teammates are just lost causes, which is kind of unfortunate to do as a support, but you can't save everybody sometimes. Yeah, and then don't use cooldowns when you don't have to. For example, like Aurora, if somebody's kind of low, but you need to like contribute a little bit of damage, don't use an Ion Cloud, just use your normal attack. You can probably get a little healing in, and it does similar-ish damage. Sometimes I see Auroras make that mistake. But yeah, that's my general spiel on support.
So what did you learn, Devin? Did you take notes there?
Don't die. That was the takeaway.
Oh,
well, that's for every position. So there you go.
I mean, that's the number one
Well,
lesson I need to take. So
if that's the number one lesson, we need to start working, because I've died 3 times in a game before, so
please to be better.
Yeah.
my average is literally over 2. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it's that bad. Real talk.
I don't know. I'm pretty handsy. I get handsy, in fact. Zing.
I'm ending the call.
All
and
right.
going away.
Anyway, so moving on. So that was it for our a big topic section. We'll go to our beta feedback section, which is we'll have to change that pretty soon because it's not going to be in beta for very much longer. But the first item we kind of talked about was the mod tokens, and they talked about it briefly. Basically, the TLDR on that is they are thinking about removing it, but they don't know how best to do that. So I feel like we've said enough about that. But a thing that I wasn't too sure about, coming from a 100% firepower perspective, is the follow mechanic. And I wanted to get your take on that. Do either one of you think it should be removed? Do you think it's too strong? Do you think you should have to rely more on prediction? Or do you think it's totally fine to have in the game?
Okay. I feel like if they took out autofollow, it would make it way too hard or frustrating to play frontliners. Also, the thing is, you're also putting yourself in the middle of a bunch of people when you do it. So there's already a bit of a downside of doing it. So I feel like if removing it would just make them weaker, and it's not really warranted in my opinion, because you can predict auto follows. Like, you can lead people that are going to auto follow you into just terrible scenarios. Like, you can lead them through Lockwood traps. You can lead them into Celeste traps. You can lead them through Gremmo mines. You can do all this crap to them. So like, if people are always going to auto follow you, there's counterplay against it, and it isn't just like some kind of like, oh, we can just auto follow me wherever I go. There's no point in my positioning anymore. Like, no, that's really not the case. You can, as long as you're smart with it. If you break line of sight like early with somebody who's auto following you, they just go to your last known indicator, and then they're just standing there looking stupid.
Yeah, they do get dumb. I've seen that before too. Yeah. Okay. So we'll drop that one. The I think I saw that I saw that in Reddit, and I saw like nobody commented on it. So
you were crying about it too. Let's be honest. So
I mean, I prefaced it with as a firepower. Yeah. I hate I hate when I get out of position and then I'm not allowed to get back into position. That's all. That's
It's just not fair.
Why can't you just let me go? I'm sorry I messed up. Let me go. So on that, actually, great transition. They added a move to the end of Oz's dash, and I was thinking, and I saw this also in Reddit, they should allow everybody to move after dash. Yes or no?
No.
No? Why not?
Only certain characters, please.
Okay, so what would that be? Would that be L, Oz, and Blackburn, or?
Yeah, I'll preface saying, I feel like if your dash range is at a certain point, you shouldn't be allowed to move after you dash. Like, Lockwood's already puts him at like slightly more than a normal movement range, and like Celeste does the same thing, and like plenty of other characters, right? My opinion is, for Blackburn, I feel like they should just, his dash is long enough to make it so that wouldn't really make sense for him to be able to move after it, but it's not quite long enough to like, it's not like innately long enough to be super great as a dash.
Yeah, he's not getting out of anything.
Especially for like a 5 turn cooldown dash like that. I feel like for Blackburn, since the base range is 3 squares, if they upped it to 4 squares base, that'd be a lot better, because then when you take the range mod, it would be 5 squares. Or, you could actually viably choose another mod, because your range wouldn't be complete crap for not taking the range mod. But for L, I feel like because it's a 1 square dash, I feel like if she was able to move after it, that'd be I'd like that change. I would like that change.
Okay, I agree. So, like, what if? I mean, I guess this is kind of not going to be really an option now that it's given to Oz. But like, would that be better as a mod option, or should it just be like if your dash is 2 squares or less, you just get to move afterwards?
I know they have specifically said that they're talking about it with other characters, and so they're definitely doing it on a case by case basis. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Could you restate the question? My bad.
Yeah. So like, would it be better as a mod option to just maybe not everybody, but maybe like L, since she's only got a 1 square,
right?
She can like a 3-point mod to move as well.
Yeah. The thing about mods is you don't want to make a mod that everyone's going to pick. Just because like it's far superior. I feel like that would be an instance where it would be like so good for her to have that kind of option. That
just be an auto choose.
It would just be an auto thing. So it'd be far better to just make it an innate part of the dash rather than the mod.
Which they've already done with Oz, so I mean, I can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Go back.
Yeah. But the big issue, like programming wise, with that would be Oz's dash guarantees he goes to a spot because 100% sure you're going to where your clone is. With L, like you could be rolling into someone's space and then input your move. They would have to make a system where you would auto path to your path that you made and then follow it as much as you can if like your roll got stopped somehow. I mean, like, I could definitely see them being able to do it, but it would take some more work than it did to allow Oz to do it.
It's just computer magic. I don't understand.
It's just computer magic.
It's just computer magic. You just push the buttons and it
complex vector math is just computer magic.
I mean, what's math? That's
you basically just said like Greek to him, so
yeah. 1 plus 1 is computer magic.
Also, I like the point. I'm not looking at the chat, Luthans. I didn't steal anything.
He's just responsive chat.
That's the only chat comment that I've seen.
Nice. You're not cheating at all.
I'm not a plagiarism.
You're not a plagiarism. I'm glad you're not a plagiarism.
I feel like that should be the episode title. Episode 2. I'm not a plagiarism.
I'm not a plagiarism. But we can't say that now because now that is a plagiarism.
You can use it. It's not
Oh,
plagiarism.
okay. Well, thank you. Episode 2. I am not a plagiarism.
Yep.
So when you first played, was there a tutorial at the time? Did you have to play through the tutorial?
Yeah, I played through the tutorial. What about it?
Did you, so like, in this is why I never played Dota 2. Actually League is the same way. They gate you through the tutorial. Do you think AR should gate through tutorial, or do you think it's best to not do that?
I should throw it on the note that it is definitely skippable because I skipped it and had no idea what I was doing.
Well, and that's where this came from. Is I think your brother did as well, and it was extremely painful to teach him the very tiny bit that I even knew, which I generated 100%.
Yeah, this is definitely a game where people will skip through tutorials because they're like, oh, I don't need a tutorial, I'll just learn when I play. But it's such a different game than other games that you actually kind of need it.
Yeah.
Like, when I first started playing, I was really confused because I didn't realize that everybody did their action, even like if their health would go down to low. So like I would die after someone hit me, and I'm like, what? But like I was supposed to do my action, and I guess I just didn't realize that I did it earlier in the turn. But like there were just like there was weird things like that where I was like, what the hell?
You know, the whole simultaneous nature kind of like changes your expectation of how things are going to happen.
Yeah.
I will say, like, they make you play Lockwood. I will say the first time I played Celeste is like, why can't I make her projectiles bounce off the wall? What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, well, Lockwood's a great choice because like he has all the different phases, which is nice.
Yeah, but he's a little bit more complex too.
I feel like people really need to go into bot games before they play actual PvP, because the current tutorial doesn't actually really teach you the flow of the game. You can take as much time as you want to do the turns, and it doesn't quite establish enough that you can move after you attack or move after you do an action. And it doesn't really explain free actions either. And
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say that A, people need to be gated behind it, and B, it needs to be revamped just a little bit?
I have a feeling like what they would want to do is people revamp the tutorial a little bit to include those elements that are missing from it. And possibly, you don't want to force people to do stuff, because if you force someone to do stuff, they're like, fuck you, man.
Well, I mean, I didn't play Dota 2 because it was buggy and I hated it.
Yeah, so what you want to do is you want to make it so you're not forcing them, but you're making them really like be like, okay, might as well.
Like, so like incentivize it with like a skin.
Yeah. For like, be like, you can start playing now, or you can play a bot game, and we'll start you with a loot matrix.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great idea.
That kind of thing.
I definitely feel like that needs to be implemented. Some sort of, at least incentivized to get in, because it was painful my first couple. It was even more painful trying to teach what I barely had a hold on to other people.
Yeah. And see, because like the tutorial I have right now kind of follows a story. It might be kind of like hard to like get more lines to like work with it. Maybe there could be like a thing that has those elements that aren't in the tutorial. Also, they also catalysts do need to be mentioned. I forgot.
Oh yeah.
Thing. Catalysts are important.
Catalysts are confusing. My first couple games, I knew immediately that they were summoners from League of Legends, or I'm sorry, this game's Overwatch, but I didn't realize that they were one use.
Summoner spells from Overwatch, right?
Yes, yeah. Summoner spells from Overwatch 2 Ancients or whatever. I didn't realize they were one use only. I thought I just turtle teched, and then later I went to turtle tech again, and I'm just like, well, where did that go? Why is that gone? No,
that must have sucked. You're just like, oh no.
Yeah, because to me they were summoners. Like I used Flash every 5 minutes on cooldown in League because I really suck at League. So. Yeah,
5 minutes cooldown on Atlas Reactor.
Yeah, I mean 5 minutes cool. I just take my time banks immediately every time. All right. So moving along. I would like to see spectate mode, and I know Devin's got a little thing on this, but
You mean spectating your friends? They're playing solo queue.
Like in another Blizzard title, when somebody else is playing a Hearthstone match, I can watch what they're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were referring to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Hearthstone. Or what's that other one? Heroes of the Storm. Yeah, that one. Or no, sorry, what's that other one? Diablo 3. What? No, StarCraft 2.
He doesn't even know what Diablo 3 is.
Is there spectator mode in Diablo 3?
Yeah, it is. You actually just join his game and then don't do anything, and he carries you.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big fan of that part of Diablo.
Yeah, that's Devin's favorite part of Diablo. Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, we see it in PPL. PPL uses it, so it exists. I think it's limited to custom games at the moment, though.
Yeah, custom games. Yeah, there's no innate delay in it, which is something that League of Legends was like, oh, we don't want to do spectator mode because delay, or because like you'd be able to cheat, and then they're like, oh, let's just add delay, and then you can see both sides and everything like that. I think that, I mean, they do have the baseline there. I think they've mentioned that they want to improve it a bit more before implementing it into general use, but I think that's definitely on their radar, and I hope we see it soon. Like when my team's playing with one of the subs, and I'm just like, oh, I want to watch, or like especially when I'm just like waiting for someone to finish a game. I'm just my choices are like start a game and ask them to wait, or wait,
or just get on Imgur for a minute. Yeah.
Or, yeah, I just want to watch them, you know.
So, and then another thing along with that, and I'm going to take full credit for this. I did some high-tech data mining on my own accord, and I found some replay files. I was really hoping they'd implement replays as well, and it looks like that's actually on the horizon.
Oof, data mining. That's a naughty man.
It's like where you go into the folders and then you just look at stuff. It's pretty high tech.
Wow.
Yeah, he doesn't need real data mining. Like, there's literally a folder in like Atlas Reactor, and then data, and then it's like replays. That's.
No, what I mean is non-comp science data mining.
He's not decompiling files. I want to be real clear on that front. That's important.
I'm a psych major. I know how to open a file.
Oh, I thought that meant you were a major on the USA show Psych.
Well, that too. That's my dream. Don't crap on it. Also, I can read your mind, so stop thinking that.
Okay, Sean Spencer.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know what that means, but thank you. But yeah, so I was really hoping for that because, like, going back again, League of Legends. I mean, they have the tech for it, but they still don't have replays. And I was really hoping AR is a lot less complex from what I understand. So I was hoping that would mean that we'd have them pretty quick, and it looks like we may have them pretty quick. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the whole backend issue with like where League was trying to store them all, and that was something they were struggling with. And if it's they're recording onto our computer, so the files are there, or the data is there, so theoretically there won't be as much of a server load because we already are seeing those files. It's just a matter of creating the interface for us to see it and replay them.
And they're so pivotal to like improving your gameplay because it's the worst time to review a game is immediately afterwards. And so like that replay, it lets you, affords you that opportunity to look at it like maybe a week later when you've calmed down and forgotten maybe what happened or where you were emotionally.
Raging at your teammates.
Yeah. Or like Jay, who was totally upset when he first started the stream.
I was really upset, man.
Or tired, I can't tell. You're pretty flat.
I don't know. It's not like I woke up 25 minutes before I got what should have been here.
The quote may not have been, "Oh crap, I have to do that thing now."
Yeah, that definitely didn't happen. I don't sleep on the job.
I mean, I'm sleeping right now, so.
Nice.
So the final thing we have for the entire show notes was, and I saw this on Reddit multiple times, only once it was commented on, was custom keybinds. I feel like that needs to definitely make it in eventually.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even really a question.
Yeah.
Like, keybinds are required for computer games. That's just how that works.
Yeah, who is it? James. He responded and said it was in the works. So,
Yeah,
cool.
So.
I
mean, because like every time I watch somebody play.
No, it was Jeff. I don't want to steal his thunder. Sorry.
Jeff, definitely Jeff.
It was definitely Jeff.
It was definitely Jeff. It's always Jeff. Definitely Jeff. But every time I watch somebody play the game, they always click their abilities and then click the map because that's preferable to hitting the buttons, and that's not okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, unless you guys have anything else to throw in there.
No.
Gmare says, Jeff, ? My name is Jeff. So anyway, we don't have any emails.
Oh no.
Or tweets.
Not
Any
yet.
tweets?
Yeah.
We did just
Or
get a
tweets.
tweet. Lothan's just tweeted out an advertisement for us, so thank you for that, sir.
I'm a fat liar. We got one tweet from Lothans. Thank you, bro.
I mean, 10 minutes ago, so you're excused.
Did we get any etc.?
We I don't actually know what that means, and I put that there, so I'm going to assume no, we did not. We definitely would like to see some 5-star or otherwise iTunes reviews. I know we have currently 0, and that's bad on me because I haven't even done one myself.
But ignoring the reviews, we'd love to hear your guys' comments. We're this is episode 2, so we're still kind of working out the kinks. So if we're doing anything you don't like, anything you do like, then please let us know.
Absolutely. In the YouTube comments and in the iTunes comments, anywhere, even on our comment, we stream often, so come tell us. So we'll go through the Twitters. Devin, why don't you go first?
I am at Kulana. It's on the screen at KULANAH.
Jay?
I'm at the Nite on Twitter.
Does Love Bites have one too?
Love Bites does not have one at the moment, but we all have our own Twitters. But on my Twitter, you'll find whenever I post a video, and whenever I'm going to appear on something, I guess.
Sounds good. We'll have your YouTube channel in our description as well, both on iTunes and on YouTube when we upload this.
Yes.
My Twitter is at Anukshuk TOE for sure. The show's got its own as well. It's turn one. That one, yep. Turn one Catalyst.
Catalyst, yeah.
It's at I'm a plagiarism. We don't have any, and that's all we have. We don't have any like affiliate links or Patreons just yet. We do have a YouTube. What is our YouTube, Devin? Since I can't English.
I'm sure it's probably Turn One Catalyst as well.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it again because reasons. So that's it. Thanks for coming on the show, Jay.
Watch
no
out for his next episode coming out very soon.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, be sure to check my YouTube. You'll find plenty of nice beginner guides, a few funny videos, and good wholesome family fun. You just show it to your mother.
Don't show it to your mother.
Show
Also,
it to your mother.
who do you use brain juice on? Just one last time.
Rampart.
Okay. All right, we're good.
Thanks for watching, everybody.